Today we have a story time of a kid who was bullied simply for liking MrBeast. The bully in his gang decided to beat up on him just for showing his love for one of the biggest YouTubers of all time. But here's the thing, karma decided to strike back in a pretty awesome way, which I know you'll enjoy. So leave a like on the video right now to claim your free nothing. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and like story times. And with that being said, let's just jump into the story. So I'm going to call the subscriber who submitted this story Andrew. And so there's a kid in Andrew's class who we're going to call Billy. So Billy was one of those kids. He was a little bit smaller than everyone else in the grade. He had a much harder time finding friends. And I know one thing that's true, or at least was true for me. My freshman year of high school, I had a really difficult time making friends, and I really just delved into YouTube, man. Like, I liked watching a lot of YouTubers, and that it was almost like getting that kind of connection that you were missing from not having a ton of friends in high school. I ended up having a great time in a great friend group, but it took a second. So if any of you guys are in high school or college or middle school or wherever you're at in life and you're having a difficult time, man, that stuff comes and goes, man. If you really, like, sometimes you just gotta power through it, talk to as many people, but all I'm saying is I know it's hard. And this kid, Billy, was a kid who had a really difficult time making friends, so it makes a total sense. It makes a lot of sense that he watched a lot of YouTube videos and that he probably watched a lot of YouTube videos to get that connection. And, you know, MrBeast is probably one of the biggest creators, and he makes really good videos, and he's overall genuinely a really nice guy. So to me, it makes a lot of sense that Billy really liked MrBeast. So anyways, this all happened one day. So the subscriber Andrew was sitting at the lunch table with his boys, chilling, whatever. They weren't necessarily close to Billy, but they didn't dislike him. He just seemed like a nice kid. They just didn't really hang out that much. But anyways, so Billy comes walking into the cafeteria, and Billy has a t-shirt on. So Billy decided, you know how there's all those kind of websites where you can make your custom t-shirts? Like, you can make a t-shirt and put whatever you want on it. So Billy decided that he was going to make his own custom MrBeast fan t-shirt. So I think MrBeast probably has merch. I mean, I assume that he does, man. I don't really have any MrBeast merch, but one can assume that MrBeast has some merch, right? But Billy decided that he wanted to make his own t-shirt. And so he probably went on Teespring or custom t-shirts or whatever website works, right? And he kind of made his own MrBeast t-shirt. Andrew's gonna be honest with us. When he was telling me this story, he said, yeah, it was a pretty crappy t-shirt. And that's no disrespect, bro. Just objectively, it was not made well, which at the end of the day, man, Billy's not an expert at t-shirts. He's not a design CEO dude. Bro, he's just making his own little t-shirt. So it had a cutout of MrBeast, and it said I love MrBeast in big text or whatever. So it was a little, look, I'm gonna be honest, man, the t-shirt was definitely a little bit scuffed, but at the end of the day, who really cares? Well, that was supposed to be a bit of a rhetorical question because you can't really respond back to me unless you want to say something in the comments, right? But someone did care. Ben. Let me introduce our next character. So Ben was the stereotypical, classic, as if he was from a movie, school bully. He was the type of kid who would give other kids wedgies, bro. He was the type of kid to slam people into lockers. He was the type of kid to try and trip people when they were walking by sticking his leg out. Dude was a cartoon villain movie, bully from the school. I feel like someone who doesn't know how to write movies very well and was writing for this movie decided to write Ben's character as the stereotypical bully because they couldn't be more spot on. Ben has been a nuisance for the longest time, and he's had a couple encounters with Billy before, and they weren't great. I mean, Ben's gonna hate on everyone, but especially a kid who's already struggling. A lot of times what bullies will do is they'll pick on the people who are the most defenseless, the ones that are the easiest targets, which, man, you're a coward, man. Take on someone your own size. I mean, you really shouldn't be bullying anyone, but if you're gonna do it, take on someone your own size. Go find the other bully in school and then have a bully war with him, bro. Pick on someone your own size here. So he's had a couple other encounters, but nothing like this. So anyways, Billy walks into the school cafeteria. He's all proud. I mean, he made his own t-shirt and just wants to show his love for MrBeast. So Billy usually eats alone at lunch. So he went to go, he was in the cafeteria line, and Andrew noticed the t-shirt, and he's like, cool, whatever, man. Like, yeah, it's a little scuffed, but like, do what you want, man. Like, I'm cool with that. But that's when Andrew, because one of his boys are like, oh, look at Billy's t-shirt. Like, that's kind of funny. He's like, yeah, man, I guess he must really love Mr. Beast. That was their comment. That was the end of the comment. Like, the end of the day, that's a fair enough statement. But that's when Andrew sees Ben's table. So Ben, the bully, had a couple of his little goons, his little cronies. Almost like so many of the bullies in these story times have their like little minions. I'm going to call them Ben's minions. So I'm going to say Minion 1 and Minion 2. Those will be the names. They don't even deserve names, man. They're not even main character enough for this story. Anyways, though, so it was Ben, Minion 1, and Minion 2 sitting at the table, and Andrew notices that Ben and his minions are pointing at Billy. They're cracking up, they're laughing, definitely mean-spirited, bro. Like, they were straight out of Mean Girls with this. Anyways, Andrew kind of didn't care as long as, because, like, it's not a good thing to do, but Billy was in line, he didn't notice, like, they aren't confronting him or anything, right? Well, if they were just kind of sitting at their table making fun of this kid, it wouldn't be a cool thing to do, but at the end of the day, it's not that deep, and Andrew's not going to be like, hey man, you can't be making fun of people. It's like, people who can say what they want, especially if they're not saying it to someone, who cares? Anyway, so Billy, grabs his tray of food, sits down at his table by himself, and kind of puts on his headphones, watches a video, probably a MrBeast video. And that's when Andrew notices that Ben the Bully and Minion 1 and Minion 2, they both walk over to where Billy's sitting. And at this point, Andrew's like, oh, dude, like, this is not going to be good. Because he already knows that, you might be thinking, well, Connor, what if Ben the Bully has a change of heart and he wants to go over to tell Billy that he thinks his t-shirt is cool? Well, let me just tell you that you're giving Ben the Bully way too much grace, and that is just not what happened. So Ben the Bully and his two minions go over, and Andrew can't exactly hear what's going on because the table's far enough away, but they see them laughing, pointing at Billy, so Billy takes off his headphones. Billy's like trying to ignore them because he's just trying to eat lunch, man. He's just trying to do that. And that's when he sees Ben the Bully, right, takes out his phone, takes a photo of like Billy sitting there, probably posted it online, making fun of him, being like, oh, dude, this kid's cringe, bruh, whatever, something like that. And that, if it was that alone, that would be pretty bad. But Ben the Bully doesn't stop there. He keeps going. So what Ben the Bully does is he goes up to Billy, and Ben the Bully goes up to Billy. Man, I chose these names terribly, dude. I'm going to be just like fumbling over my words this entire video. Ben the Bully goes up to Billy. Say that 10 times fast in the comment section if you can. Anyways, goes up to him and starts to like pull the t-shirt off of him, which, bro, that's just not cool, man. First of all, that's another man's belongings. You got to stay away from that. That's his stuff. Second of all, why are you touching this kid, bro? Like, out of context, that's cooked out of context. But, bro, why are you laying your hands on him? He's not your boy. You're not, like, wrestling with him or something. Like, bro, come on now. Anyways, so he, like, rips the t-shirt off of Billy, which, bro, is just sitting there shirtless, which is pretty messed up, and is, like, Ben the Bully, like, is holding up the t-shirt, laughing, pointing. Other people are starting to pay attention. Billy, like, is trying to, like, make himself as small as possible, hide, whatever. And that's when Ben the Bully takes the t-shirt and rips it down the middle. I think he probably wasn't even expecting that it would rip that easily, but it's, like, one of these custom t-shirt sites that was kind of, like... Billy didn't buy some like super bougie whatever t-shirt made from the finest linen in all of Egypt or whatever. So sure enough, right, the t-shirt rips in half. I think Ben was a little bit surprised by that. But at that point, Billy just gets up. He's probably crying at this point and just runs out of the cafeteria. So super mean-spirited, super not cool, and just standard Ben the Bully. So Andrew and his friends were watching this whole thing. And when that finally goes down and Billy runs out, Andrew's like, dude, this kid is genuinely the worst. Like, I know he's been a problem for a while, but that just, like, wasn't cool. That kid was minding his own business, chilling, has his own t-shirt that he made, and this kid comes over making fun of him and then rips up his property. Like, that sucks. So anyways, the table next to him is, like, overhearing what Andrew's saying, and they're like, dude, like, that was just not cool. Did you see that? And they're all like, yeah, like, this sucks. Like, we got to do something. So anyways, Andrew's table and the table next to him go up to Ben and his two little minions, and they're all laughing. Andrew's like, bro, why did you do that? And Ben's like, oh, well, the t-shirt was cringe. I had to, show him a lesson or whatever. And he's like, bro, can you just, mind your own business with that? He's like, dude, do you think it's not cringe? And he's like, bro, it doesn't matter what I think about the t-shirt. That kid made a t-shirt. That's his own property. It's his right to go wear that. And you went up to him, made fun of him in front of everyone, and then destroyed his property. In what world is that okay? And Ben's like, oh, man, I guess you'd wear this t-shirt too, so I guess you're pretty cringe as well. And his two, minions are like, because they're going to laugh and, approve whatever the bully says, because they want to have that feeling of power and authority by being friends with the bully. By the way, if you made it this far into the video, comment t-shirt down below in the comment section. I just like seeing the names and faces of people who made it this far into the video. Anyways, so Andrew and his guys leave because they know that they're not going to convince Ben to go apologize or whatever. So they're sitting down. It's Andrew's table. The table next to him joins him at the table, and they start talking to other people who saw what went down, and everyone in the lunchroom. Okay, you didn't talk to everyone. It's a lot of people in that lunchroom, but they get together 30, 40 guys and girls just being that was messed up. So they're sitting down being dude, we gotta figure out a way to make this right. And you could say, oh, just go tell the teacher. Yeah, so usually I'd always say that's probably the move to do. And honestly, probably Andrew and the guys should have just done that. But apparently Andrew said the reason why he didn't, which he probably still should have, but whatever, man. What he does is pretty cool. And I'll tell you about it in a second. But apparently at the school, the teachers have just never enforced anything. And Ben has been told on 1 billion times and nothing has changed. So they realized if they wanted change, they had to bring it into their own hands. So they devise a pretty awesome plan. So one of them follows, or just I think Ben's account on Instagram's public or whatever, or someone follows him because you just follow people in your class. And they find the photo of, so Ben posts on his socials, look at this kid, so cringe, ha ha ha, whatever. And it's a photo of Billy in the t-shirt. So this is what Andrew and all the people decide to do. So they go back home, they take a look at that photo, they put it into reverse image search, they're grinding the internet to try and find the exact same photo of MrBeast, and they basically find it. So then they go on so Andrew's back at the house, he has a couple boys, and they made a massive group chat, and the group chat's called Revenge for Billy, or Justice for Billy or something. And basically, Andrew and his boys are back at the house. They're trying to reverse image search the image, they find the text, and they basically go on one of these websites and they basically recreate pretty close. It's not maybe 100%, but it is 95% the same as what Billy's t-shirt was. So you might be thinking, oh, did they just make Billy another t-shirt? That's pretty nice. Well, that would have been pretty nice, but they don't end it there. So there's about 40 people in the group chat. They all pitch in $20 and they buy 41 t-shirts, one for Billy, but 40 for everyone else. So anyways, right before school, Andrew, or a couple days later, the order comes in because it's actually pretty quick. And most people forgot about what happened. Billy's down. He's not very happy. And he's sad, whatever, man. But he comes into school on this day. And thank God he came into school on this day. So everyone who's in the group chat, Justice for Billy, they get there kind of early. So they get there 15 minutes before school, 20 minutes before school, and Andrew has a backpack that has no schoolwork in it, so he's going to be cooked in his classes, but he doesn't care. It's Justice for Billy, man. And he has 41 t-shirts in there. So he starts handing them all out, and everyone in the group chat starts putting on the t-shirts, and they're waiting for Billy to come in. And eventually, Billy's dropped off by his mom. He comes out of the car. He's looking really down, but then he looks at them. And the look on Billy's face is absolutely priceless. The smile on this kid when he recognized, because this was a very custom t-shirt, bro. This was a very custom t-shirt. When he realized that they were all wearing his tee, dude, the smile on his face was amazing. Anyways, so Andrew goes up to Billy and he's like, yo, dude, I saw what Ben did to you. That wasn't cool. So here's another t-shirt for you. And he just hands a t-shirt, a brand new t-shirt to Billy. And Billy's just so smiling, so happy. He said, by the way, we're wearing these all of today. So if Ben wants to pick on you, dude, he's got to pick on all of us. Anyway, so this is pretty awesome right now. They all go into school. They're all wearing glasses. Half the kids in the class are like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, bro, justice for Billy. And it's like a thing. It's like it's like basically trending within their school, like justice for Billy. Anyways, so lunchtime eventually rolls around, and like half the cafeteria has these t-shirts on, dude. Or maybe not half, but so many people. And so at lunch, everyone's sitting at the table that Billy's sitting at. And eventually Ben comes over. He's like, oh my God, you guys are all so cringe. And he like whips out his phone. He starts recording. He's like, dude, this is so cringe. And they're all just looking at him like, what are you going to do about it, bro? And he's like, dude, I'm going to destroy all these t-shirts. And a couple of the kids are like big football kids. Like they're like quarterback type football kids, whatever. So the three of those kids stand up and they're like 50 pounds on Ben each. Like Ben was a fairly big guy, but these guys were big and built, dude. He's like, and they all say, like one of them looks at him and says, all right, you're going to rip these t-shirts off of us, buddy. And Ben looks at them and is like, yeah. And they're like, try, I dare you, bro, try. And he's like, dude, I just don't feel like I would rather you guys be all cringe than I rip them off. And they're like, oh, really, bro? And like the two minions with Ben are starting to look at each other like, wait, did we pick the wrong side on this one, dude? And they're literally just sitting there. Ben's like, well, you guys are all cringe. And he like runs away. And someone who's following Ben on Instagram sees that he posts that video, but then quickly takes it down. He absolutely got destroyed here. So anyways, right, they're all kind of sitting, they're all kind of chilling. And by the end of lunch, they're like, yo, dude, like to Billy, they're like, hey, like a lot of the groups of people there were like, Billy, like, bro, you can sit with us whenever you want. Like whenever we're sitting down, come sit with us instead. And it was actually really fire. So they didn't end up, Billy wore that t-shirt every single day just because it meant so much to him. No one else really kept on wearing the t-shirts, but I mean, that's fine. The point is that they all wore it once. And from that point on, Billy would go sit at Andrew's table. He'd go sit at the football table. Like, bro was like low-key the most popular kid in class after that, which was so fire. And yeah, Ben the Bully just like from this point I think he tried and like trip people and call people cringe or whatever, but he absolutely lost all of the luster that he had before. And Billy never sat alone at lunch.